Hello and welcome back to Let's Get Screwed Over by France of all countries as an illustration of how much I suck at ruling my own country. With jingles, comrade jingles anyway. No, just pause it before I hit the start button. Okay, to recap, it is June the 4th, 1942, the war in Europe has just ended, with Germany being pretty much omnommed by France, and we kind of got a nibbly bite out of the eastern part of it over here. We also got a bit of Romania off the Romanians, which is also cool, and there are a couple of German planes still flying around over here. And I say the war in Europe is over, but we are still technically at war with what is left of Germany, which basically constitutes their little African colonies over here, and Madagascar, and that kind of stuff, basically. What else is going on in the world? The commies are kicking butt in India. And let's have a look. What else? The French obviously have occupied all of Germany and this and that and the other. Italy is still kind of just a stalemate. I don't know if they're even at war, actually, in all fairness. Nothing has changed in America. South America's going a bit crazy. I think the Argentinians seem to have gone to war with Brazil for some reason. Australia's kind of sat there doing not a whole lot. Japan is still at war with Germany. They're currently taking over a few of Germany's remaining colonies in the Pacific, like here. Yeah, that's kind of it, really. So Singapore has been taken over from the Germans and has been, or Malaysia, I should say, has been taken over by from the Germans by the Japanese and turned into a puppet. Burma is a syndicalist country now, apparently. Siam still sat there doing a whole lot. Yeah, it's all... what the... Okay, there's a random bit of the king up there, but okay, whatever. Oh, and that's kind of it, really. This is something really important I'm missing. Kaiser Wilhelm II isn't the Kaiser anymore. It's Kaiser Wilhelm III, who obviously was not a real Kaiser in real life. It's the Kaiser's son, who in this obviously is now the third Kaiser because, well, he's not Kaiser very much, is he? He's got like a few bits of Africa, and that's kind of it, really. That's the extent of his empire at this moment in time. So yeah, now we've just got to decide what we're doing next, I guess. Now, I can't make some sort of puppet government in Germany because on here there's nothing. When you click the Liberate Nation button, is grayed out, so we can't do anything about that. The French will undoubtedly make a few puppet states in Germany. Maybe one big puppet state or a few puppet states or whatever. They'll probably make one out of Denmark as well. In the meantime, we need to decide what to do next. Now, people have been saying like ignore Europe and get on with like sort of Turkestan and maybe Mongolia and stuff like that. However, well, that's certainly something I'll get around to doing. It's worth pointing out that, they're kind of useless, really. Turkestan and that, they're a bit rubbish. They've got nothing really worth taking. I mean, they've got a bit of IC, but you know how it is. Like when you take them over, you get one of those little event boxes that pops up and like nukes all the IC that you actually got from them for balance purposes or whatever. Whereas if we come in and take over a good portion of Eastern Europe and the Balkans and stuff, we won't have that problem. We can take over like Poland and this, that, and the other, and stuff, and that'll be fine. I'm going to take over Poland. I will. That's the next country on our hit list. I'll say that right now, so it's clear. And that will be the extent of the Soviet Union's actual borders themselves, I think, really. And anything following that, like this bit of Romania down here, Hungary, Bohemia, Austria, any of this that we happen to decide that we might want to take, that will all be puppetized. We won't take that for our actual selves. I think Poland, bringing the border up here to Poland, so it'll be running from Stralsund down to Constanza, that will be the limits of the Soviet Union, or sorry, the Soviet Republic, I should say, since that's who we're technically playing as. That'll be the limits of the Soviet Republic itself. If we ever invade and take over Germany from the French, I may include that as well, just for the huge industrial capacity bonus, but that's not likely. Since America's industrial capacity at the minute is kind of pitiful, really, at the end of the day. So yeah, and usually by this point in the game, although they haven't this time, America will have like built up an insane amount of industrial capacity, like they'll have 600 IC or something. But this time they haven't, so trying to match them in the long term isn't such a big deal right now, actually, which is cool. In the meantime, I think it's just a case of keep researching tech, and then very shortly I will invade Poland. Don't know what to do with Finland yet. I'm kind of inclined to leave them alone. I might invade them, and if we do, I will probably annex Finland and bring it into the Soviet Republic as well. And then Scandinavia, God, I don't know. We'll probably just leave them alone. They seem like there'd be more trouble than they're worth. And the same kind of almost might be true of Finland too, but anyway. So, yeah, let's have a look at the tech screen anyway, see how we're doing. Right, these guys, whatever they were doing, have finished what they were doing. So, what can we do instead? I don't know. 1942 motorized actually is what they can do. I'm going to start upgrading our army into a modern one as opposed to this sort of infantry mass that we have at the minute. I'm going to start building more tanks, as I've already kind of started doing anyway. And, you know, more tanks and motorized divisions, eventually maybe some mechanized divisions as well, that kind of stuff. And we're also getting the atomic research underway as well. Because still not entirely sure if it's the case in Kaiserreich specifically, but I do know that the Darkest Hour AI in general, in the vanilla game at least, is quite capable of building nuclear weapons and will use them without hesitation. I played a game as Japan once in Darkest Hour, and the Americans got nuclear weapons and did not hesitate to bomb the crap out of China, which was under my control at the time, before I invaded. I had already invaded mainland United States at that point, and I controlled pretty much just this bit here. And the Americans sent some B-52 bombers over to some major population centers in China and started dropping A-bombs on them, which was a big surprise to me, because in the original Hearts of Iron, the AI couldn't use atomic bombs. So basically, since I can't guarantee that the French won't, French or the Americans for that matter, or even like the Japanese or something down there, since I can't guarantee that they won't develop nuclear weapons of some kind, I'm going to get right on that myself. So, right, the king have annexed that little German puppet state in southern China that was there before, now that the Germans have been defeated. Yeah, see, it says at the bottom here, Allgemeine Ostasiatische Gesellschaft went with rejoin the King Empire in German Empire has been defeated. Well, there you go, and a bunch of our infantry can be deployed as well. I'll keep up with the building of these for a little while yet. I may cancel some of them, just because we kind of need them for dealing with the rest of Europe that isn't allied with the French. I mean, I have a fairly sizable army, but still not really big enough to take on most of Eastern Europe that's left. Without some major difficulties, anyway. Okay, let's give me some. All right, I forgot we're running fairly low on generals, aren't we? Damn. Okay, that's all right. You guys group together, and you can be a general. And you guys group together and you can have a Lieutenant General. Tupikov, you can be in charge of them. Let's have a look at the economy screen then. Oh yeah, we are building lots of dudes. And these tanks as well are also kind of... Oh, it's only like that because it's not refreshed itself yet. Oh goodness me, something important must be happening because the game's frozen. Oh yeah, well, there we go. A whole bunch of German puppet states have appeared, and I will get to that in a second. Just hold on, game. Let me see how the production's going. Right, we need 195. So why are we not giving it 195? Why? Supplies we only need 18, so we'll bump that down to as close as I can get it, which is 19. Reinforcements 0. Upgrades an insane amount. Consumer goods you can go down to 30 or so. Upgrades will leave you on a pitiful little 38, which will upgrade 4.17% of our forces. Nice. But fuck it, who cares? We're Russia. We do not upgrade, we just build more. Speaking of, I think I'll give the motorized infantry a miss for now until we've actually researched motorized infantry 1942, which would be more efficient. Basic armor 1939 or basic light tank. Choices. I think we're about to upgrade our armor. Yeah, to improve medium tank. That'll be very soon. So we'll hold off on that as well for now. Or just leave them building what they're building. In fact, actually, let's be even more efficient and get rid of most of this first wave of troops here. Feel a bit more IC. That gearing bonus is awesome though. I mean, it's like they just finished building in June, and then another wave of them would have been ready in December. Yeah, you and you and you and you and you and you and you, and these guys can stay. And yeah, what we're not using, I will put actually into upgrades, which won't help a great deal, but it'll help a bit. 140 now in upgrades, which will allow us to upgrade 15.11% of our forces at any given time. Okay, so let's have a look at Germany. Let's have a look. So, oh, interesting. Oh wait, what the hell? Oh wait, no. Okay, right. It's just the North German Federation is bright red, exactly the same as us. I was a bit confused there. I was like, what the hell? Why did they give us that? Well, that's going to be a bit confusing, but fine. What does that flag say? Vereinigte Sozialistische Federation des something Deutschlands. Anyway. So yeah, what we've got here, we've got the North German Federation, which controls this bit here. The border is at Stralsund, just there, if you can't see it very well on YouTube, which you probably can't, since the border lines themselves are red as well. We've got Prussia. Like, this is weird, like, apart from North German Confederation, they seem to have decided to keep the sort of old, kind of imperial era flags for the place. It's like Prussia, they've got the little eagle and everything. Which kind of seems kind of odd for a sort of socialist thing, but fine, you know, whatever. I guess it will just give the old Soviet propaganda machine more ammunition to throw at them when we eventually decide that we're going to and this will happen, by the way. We are at some point or another we are going to invade Western Europe and take these mothers over. Just because I can, really. Well, I hope I can. We're going to need, if I'm ever going to invade America, which is the ultimate goal, I think, at the end of this. Not really the ultimate goal of this whole thing, but it will be the... If we get that far, it will be the kind of crowning glory of this entire Let's Play, will be to plant the Soviet flag in Washington, D.C. So... Yes... in order to do that, I'm going to compete with America, and America is incredibly difficult to take on, even